A huge welcome back to our shores, Harsha. It's wonderful to have you part of the Fox cricket team yet again. And what a place, with the benefit of the neutral view, if you like. How do you see this day and match in general, and how is it viewed upon by visiting nations?
Boxing Day is a big test match all over the world. Maybe not as much as it is in Melbourne, but the tradition, everyone understands the tradition. Everyone knows that it's a big day in the Australian cricketing calendar. So a lot of us look forward to the Boxing Day test as well. Most days full house, not sure about today, but most days absolutely full house. There's a different vibe about a Boxing Day test match. I've been here to a few of those, and I come out in the centre of the pitch every morning, and then I look around and I feel like an ant in such a big stadium. But yeah, so it's a tradition that's known around the world.
If we just allow ourselves to fast forward a year, it will be India who are here. I don't think there'll be much worry about filling it out a Boxing Day next year. Is there already growing anticipation, though, Harsha, for this series back home?
There will be. India versus Australia is always special. Australia is the big new rivalry. We know a lot about Australia now because a lot of the players come over to play the IPL. The players know each other, so you'd have realised a little bit of the needle that existed between the two teams, that's gone as well. Because for 7 weeks of the year, they're thrown together in this massive cauldron as friends and as teammates, so they know each other very well. So when India play Australia in Australia, there's a special vibe because for a long time, this was the one place India never came and won in. And now when India come back next year, they've almost got a tradition to uphold, having won the last 2 series here. So I'm looking forward to a really tough series. I don't know how many of the Australian players, some of them are getting long, no Warner maybe. So we'll wait and see how that goes, but there's a good vibe about that one.
Yeah, all that to look ahead in 12 months' time. Let's bring it back to the immediate focus, if you like. Can much stop this current Australian Test team at the moment, in your view, Harsha?
I don't know, really, to be honest. They're just far too good, especially against this opposition, especially when they're playing against Pakistan. They won 15 in a row. 16 is a number. 16 test matches in a row is a number that the Aussies like. So I think it'll be 16 again. But they're just so full of confidence. And some teams are very good playing front runners. Some others like to play underdog. Australia, very good playing front runners. So I think they'll enter this game believing they can win. Belief is such a big thing in our sport. And I think the only thing that can stop them is overconfidence, just believing that come what may, they will win, because I think Pakistan are in disarray. They've got to put their best foot forward today.
And maybe the toss, like never before, could have a huge say on the outcome, given we're already hearing that many suspect the winning captain will bowl first. So is that crucial for Pakistan? Just how do they mount a successful challenge today, do you think, Harsha?
Well, I don't know how much to follow old stats because every day is different, every test match is different. But the last 3 test matches, the team that won the toss, or the team that batted first, got less than 200 and lost the test match. So I suspect Pakistan will want to put Australia in. I don't know if they have the pace, though. Australia's one country where sort of 125, 130, 132 gets murdered because it doesn't swing a lot. So I don't know if they've got the pace, which is something strange. In India, we just look across to our west to Pakistan and say, wow, they've got pace. But that's something that's gone away. So they'll need the pace, and they don't have it at the moment. So I don't know how they're going to how they're going to win here unless they really put a lot of runs on the board.
Just looking at some other cricketing issues too, Harsha, given Mitchell Starkey comes into this match after some rather big and successful news for both he and his bank account. A record price in the IPL auction. Look, for a guy who hasn't actually played in that competition for something like 8 years, it seemed quite an impressive price and value to be placed on him. How's that been viewed back home?
Very, very interesting, because this was a smaller auction. If Mitch Starc had gone into the big one, he'd probably have got paid at best half of what he has got, because everyone's building a big team with the purse. When you come into the smaller auction, there's relatively a lot of money chasing fewer players. And Mitch Starc has a skill set that very few have, which is to be able to bowl the top and tail, the ability to bowl at the death and come in at 8 or 9 and swing his bat. So in India, we look at skill sets that are not available. And Stark's skill set isn't available. I was surprised myself at how high it went eventually, but that is because there was a lot of money chasing very few players. So good on him, but it's a grueling tournament. He'll discover that when he comes back. He hasn't been here for a while.
Yeah, on that fact, and also we have seen in the past the players that get those record sums often do find it hard to match the value, so to speak. How do you think Mitch might cope with that as well?
Well, for a start, he's got to tell himself it's not his fault. He cannot enter the field thinking, I've got so many $1,000 per ball that I bowl. He cannot think about that. He's just got to say, I don't know. Let my agent, let my banker look after that. I did not ask for that money. So he's got to take the pressure off saying, I've got to earn the money that they've spent on me. And that's very easy to say and difficult to do because everybody will be talking about the money. His teammates will be talking about it. His financial planner will be talking about it. As soon as he gets to India, they'll be talking about it. He's just got to put that away and say, I didn't ask for it, you just gave it to me. I didn't ask for it. I'll just come and play like I'm getting a sixth of that maybe and just focus on his cricket. It's not easy, and many big players have struggled under the weight of the purse they're getting.
Look, the other big talking point, I guess, out of the IPL is this potential second playing window. You're very close to all this, I guess, Harsha. So with that in mind, what's your thoughts? Is it more a case of when or if it'll happen, and then what impact on the game globally?
It's still a work in progress. I don't know how they're going to, what kind of tournament they're going to have, because in most parts of India, certainly in the south and the west, September is still part of the monsoon. It'll be raining a lot. So it'll have to be a shorter window. I don't know if they'll play T10. I'm not sure. I like the idea of playing T10, but we'll have to wait and see. It's very much work in progress. So I guess by March or April, we'll come to know. But September, October is an interesting part. England have finished their season. Australia, New Zealand, South Africa haven't started that. So they've probably identified that as the window. But as I said, because of the monsoon in India, they'll have to be very careful about how they play it. But franchise cricket is just growing everywhere. And you're seeing what's happening to Test cricket. You're getting more and more one-sided series. A lot of the Pakistan players, then that's a good example, are actually here playing 4 overs cricket. So I think you'll see more and more of that. So yeah, it'll disrupt world cricket for sure.
And Harsha, just one more before we let you go, just in the lens of Test cricket and on that point. Pakistan and India at Test level, we know it's difficult to schedule in either country for the geopolitical reasons, but the MCG, sure makes a potential venue. Would you like to see a Test match between those two nations at the ground you're standing on?
If there was an India-Pakistan Test match at the MCG, you would sell it out within a day of the tickets going on sale. No doubt at all. They'd all be sitting on their laptops, all the Indian fans, the Pakistani fans, waiting for the tickets to go on sale. They'll have got their algorithms ready to get used to the system, and boom, they'll go for it right away. They're all software geeks, aren't they? They're all very good at that. But it will be a sellout. But everyone talks about separating sport and politics. I think it's certainly in our part of the world, it's impossible to separate the two because it's such a deep-rooted emotion, both what's happening between our countries and sport itself. So I'm not sure. The only time it could happen is if they made the World Test Championship final, but at the moment that's looking a distant dream.
Yeah, indeed. Harsha, always appreciate your input and analysis, and really looking forward to a great call. Enjoy the day.
Thank you, Jimmy. Cheers.